In this video, we will do chapter number 10 of Honeydew, The Great Stone Face 2. I'll explain the chapter in Hindi. After that, we will do the question answer for the chapter. So let's start with the chapter. Before you read, many years passed. Ernest was now a man of middle age. To his neighbors, who never suspected that he was anything more than an ordinary and familiar face, he was only a humble and hardworking, though thoughtful person. But what about the old prophecy? Was it ever fulfilled? Let us read and find out. बहुत साल बीत गए। अर्नेस्ट अब एक मध्यम उम्र का व्यक्ति था। उसके पड़ोसियों ने कभी शक नहीं किया था कि वो एक साधारण व्यक्ति से कुछ ज़्यादा नहीं है जिसका चेहरा वो पहचानते हैं। वो बहुत ही सौम्य और मेहनत करने वाला व्यक्ति था, जबकि वो बहुत ही सोचने वाला व्यक्ति भी था। लेकिन उस पुरानी भविष्यवाणी का क्या हुआ? क्या यह कभी पूरी हुई? हम पढ़कर पता लगाते हैं। The years hurried on and brought white hairs upon the head of Ernest, and made wrinkles across his forehead and furrows in his cheeks. He was an old man, but not in vain had he grown old. More numerous than the white hairs on his head were the wise thoughts in his mind, and Ernest had ceased to be obscure. Unsought for undesired had come to fame which so many seek. He had become famous beyond the limits of the valley. College professors and even the active men of cities came from far to see and converse with Ernest, and he received them with gentle sincerity and spoke freely with them of whatever came uppermost or lay deepest in his heart or their own. While they talked together, his face would brighten unawares and shine upon them as with a mild evening light. साल तेजी से बीत रहे थे और अर्नेस्ट के सिर पर अब सफ़ेद बाल आने लगे थे। उसके चेहरे पर झुर्रियाँ पड़ने लगी थीं। उसके माथे पर भी सिलवटें आने लगी थीं। उसके गालों पर भी निशान दिखने लगे थे। वह एक बूढ़ा व्यक्ति था, लेकिन वह ऐसे ही बूढ़ा नहीं हो रहा था। जितने उसके सर पर सफ़ेद बाल थे, उससे भी ज़्यादा उसकी बुद्धिमानी थी उसके दिमाग में। अर्नेस्ट अब एक बहुत ही पॉपुलर व्यक्ति हो गया था, जबकि वो ऐसा नहीं चाहता था। उसकी ख्याति दूर तक फैल गई थी। वह इतना मशहूर हो गया था कि घाटी से बाहर तक उसकी बातें होने लगी थी। कॉलेज के प्रोफेसर, यहाँ तक कि शहर के लोग भी उससे मिलने आने लगे थे, और वह उन्हें बहुत ही सज्जनता और बुद्धिमानी के साथ उनका अभिवादन करता था और उनसे खुलकर बात करता था, जिस बारे में भी वो बात करना चाहते थे। और जब वे एक दूसरे से बात कर रहे होते थे तो उसका चेहरा चमकने लगता था, ऐसे जैसे कि शाम को कोई रोशनी हो गई हो। While Ernest had been growing old, God had granted a new poet to this earth. He too was a native of the valley, but had spent the greater part of his life in distant cities, pouring out his sweet music everywhere. Neither was the great stone face forgotten, for the poet had celebrated it in a poem. The songs of this poet found their way to Ernest. He read them after his customary toil, seated on the bench before his cottage door. As he read he lifted his eyes to the mountain. जब अर्नेस्ट बूढ़ा हो रहा था, भगवान ने इस धरती को एक नया कवि दिया था। वह भी इसी घाटी में पैदा हुआ था, लेकिन अपना ज़्यादातर समय उसने दूसरे शहरों में बिताया था और अपना मधुर संगीत सब जगह फैलाया था। लोग ग्रेट स्टोन फेस को भी भूले नहीं थे, क्योंकि उस कवि ने उस पर एक कविता लिखी थी। उस कवि की लिखी हुई कविताएं अर्नेस्ट तक भी पहुंचने लगी थी। वह उन्हें पढ़ता था अपनी झोपड़ी के बाहर बेंच पर बैठकर, और जब वह उन्हें पढ़ रहा होता था तब उसकी आंखें अक्सर पहाड़ी की तरफ उठ जाती थी। ओ ग्रेट स्टोन फेस, ही सेड, इज नॉट दिस मैन वर्दी टू बी योर लाइकनेस? महान स्टोन फेस, क्या व्यक्ति तुम्हें पसंद नहीं है? द फेस सीम्स टू स्माइल बट डिड नॉट आंसर। वह चेहरा हंसता था मगर जवाब नहीं देता था ग्रेट स्टोन फेस का। नाउ इट हैपेंड दैट द पोएट, though he lived so far away, had not only heard of Ernest, but he had thought much about his character and wished to meet this man, whose wisdom walked hand in hand with the noble simplicity of his life. One summer day, therefore, he arrived at Ernest's door, where he found the good old man holding a book in his hand, which he read, and then, with a finger between the leaves, looked lovingly at the great stone face. कवि के साथ ऐसा हुआ कि हालांकि वो दूसरे शहरों में बहुत दूर रह रहा था, लेकिन उसने अर्नेस्ट के बारे में सुना था और वह उससे मिलना चाहता था। उसने उसकी बुद्धिमानी और उसके साधारण जीवन के बारे में सुना था। गर्मी की एक सुबह वह अर्नेस्ट के दरवाजे पर पहुंच गया और उसने पाया कि वह अच्छा बूढ़ा व्यक्ति अपने हाथों में एक किताब लिए हुए है जिसे वह पढ़ रहा है, और फिर बीच में उंगली रखकर किताब बंद कर वह ग्रेट स्टोन फेस की तरफ देखता है। Good evening, said the poet. Can you give a traveler a night shelter? Gladly answered Ernest, and then he added, smiling, I think I never saw the great stone face look so hospitality at a stranger. शाम की नमस्ते, कवि ने कहा, क्या आप यात्री को एक रात रुकने के लिए जगह दे सकते हैं? खुशी से, अर्नेस्ट ने जवाब दिया, और फिर उसने कहा, मुस्कुराते हुए, मैंने ग्रेट स्टोन फेस को किसी अजनबी की तरफ ऐसे मुस्कुराते हुए नहीं देखा। The poet sat down beside him and he and Ernest talked together. Never before had the poet talked with a man like Ernest, so wise and so gentle and kind. Ernest, on the other hand, was moved by the living images flung out of the poet's mind. कवि उसके बराबर में ही जमीन पर बैठ गया और अर्नेस्ट और वो आपस में बातें करने लगे। कवि ने पहले कभी अर्नेस्ट जैसे व्यक्ति से बात नहीं की थी, इतना बुद्धिमान, इतना शांत और इतना दयालु। अर्नेस्ट दूसरी तरफ कवि से बहुत ही प्रभावित था। As Ernest listened to the poet, he imagined that the great stone face was bending forward to listen too. He gazed into the poet's eyes. जब अर्नेस्ट कवि की बातों को सुन रहा था, तब उसे ऐसा लग रहा था कि ग्रेट स्टोन फेस भी झुककर उसे सुन रहा है और वह भी कवि की आंखों में देख रहा है। Who are you, my gifted guest? He asked. The poet laid his finger on the book that the Ernest had been reading. You have read these poems, said he. You know me, then, for I wrote them. तुम कौन हो मेरे दोस्त? अर्नेस्ट ने पूछा। कवि ने वह जो अर्नेस्ट किताब पढ़ रहे थे उसकी तरफ इशारा करते हुए कहा, आपने ये कविताएं पढ़ी हैं, फिर तो आप मुझे जानते हैं, मैंने ही इन्हें लिखा है। Again and again, Ernest examined the poet's features. He turned towards the great stone face, then back. He shook his head and sighed. बार बार अर्नेस्ट ने कवि की तरफ देखा और फिर ग्रेट स्टोन फेस की तरफ, फिर अपना सिर हिलाया और राहत की सांस ली। Why are you sad? Inquired the poet. Because, replied Ernest, all through life I have awaited the fulfillment of a prophecy, and when I read these poems, I hoped that it might be fulfilled in you. You hoped, answered the poet, fainting smilingly, to find in me the likeness of the great stone face. I am not worthy to be its likeness. आप दुखी क्यों हैं? कवि ने पूछा। क्योंकि, अर्नेस्ट ने जवाब दिया, मैंने अपना पूरा जीवन उस भविष्यवाणी के सच होने का इंतजार किया है, और जब मैंने आपकी कविताएं पढ़ी तो मुझे लगा कि आप शायद वैसे हों। आपको लगा? कवि ने कहा, हल्के से मुस्कुराते हुए, कि मुझ में और ग्रेट स्टोन फेन में समानता है। मैं इतना अच्छा नहीं हूं। In why not? Asked Ernest. He pointed to the book. Are not these thoughts worthy? You can hear in them the distant voice of a heavenly song. But my life, dear Ernest, has not corresponded with my thoughts. I have had grand dreams, but they have been only dreams.
Sometimes I lack faith in my own thoughts. Why then, pure seeker of the good and true, should you hope to find me in the face of the mountain? और क्यों नहीं, अर्नेस्ट ने कहा।
उन्होंने किताब की तरफ इशारा करते हुए कहा, क्या ये सब आपने ही नहीं लिखी हैं? आप इन कविताओं में बहुत सी बातें सुन सकते हैं, लेकिन मेरा जीवन, प्यारे अर्नेस्ट, इस किताब की तरह नहीं है। मेरे बहुत बड़े सपने थे, लेकिन वो केवल सपने ही रह गए। कभी कभी तो मुझे अपने विचारों पर भी शक होता है। और आप मेरे चेहरे में उस पत्थरों के चट्टानों पे बने चेहरे को ढूंढ रहे हैं। The poet spoke sadly and his eyes were wet with tears. So too were those of Ernest. At the hour of sunset, as had long been his custom, Ernest was to speak to a group of neighbors in the open air. Together, he and the poet went to the meeting place, arm in arm. From there could be seen the great stone face. कवि बहुत दुखी मन से ये बातें कह रहा था और उसकी आंखों में आंसू थे, और अर्नेस्ट की आंखों में भी। उसी समय सूरज डूबते समय, जैसा कि वह रोज करता था, अर्नेस्ट को पड़ोस में रहने वाले कुछ लोगों के एक ग्रुप से बात करनी थी, खुली हवा में। वह और कवि दोनों साथ साथ उस स्थान पर गए जहां से ग्रेट स्टोन फेस को देखा जा सकता था। Ernest threw a look of familiar kindness around upon his audience. He began to speak to the people what was in his heart and mind. His words had power because they agreed with his thoughts, and his thoughts had reality and depth because they harmonized with the life which he had always lived. It was not mere breath that the preacher uttered, they were the words of life. A life of good deeds and selfless love was melted into them. The poet, as he listened, felt that the life and character of Ernest was a nobler strain of poetry than he had ever written. His eyes filled with tears, and he said to himself that never was there so worthy a sage as that mild, sweet, thoughtful face, with the glory of white hair diffused about it. अर्नेस्ट अपने सुनने वाले श्रोताओं से अपने चिर परिचित अंदाज में बात करने लगे।
उन्होंने अपने दिल और अपने दिमाग में आने वाले विचारों को उनके सामने रखा। उनके शब्दों में शक्ति थी क्योंकि वो वही बोल रहे थे जो कि वो सोचते थे। उनकी बातों में गहराई थी क्योंकि ऐसा जीवन उन्होंने जिया था। ये केवल सांस लेना ही नहीं था, ये उनके जीवन के जुड़े हुए अनुभवों से निकले हुए शब्द थे, और जिसमें अपने लिए कुछ भी नहीं था और उसमें इमोशंस थे। कवि सुनता रहा और उसे लगने लगा कि अर्नेस्ट ने जो ज्ञान की बातें बताई हैं वो उनकी लिखी हुई सभी कविताओं से बेहतर हैं। उसकी आंखें आंसुओं से भर गईं और उसने खुद से कहा कि उसने इससे अच्छा व्यक्ति आज तक नहीं देखा जो कि इतना शांत, इतना प्यारा है और इतना विचार करने वाला है। At a distance but clearly to be seen high up in the golden light of the setting sun appeared the great stone face with white mist around it, like the white hairs around the brow of Ernest. At the moment, Ernest's face took on an expression so grand that the poet was moved to throw his arms up and shout, "Behold, behold, Ernest is himself the likeness of the great stone face." कुछ दूरी पर ही, लेकिन बिल्कुल साफ, शाम के डूबते हुए सूरज में ग्रेट स्टोन फेस दिखाई दे रहा था, और उसके चारों तरफ सफ़ेद रंग के जो बादल थे वह ऐसे लग रहे थे जैसे कि अर्नेस्ट के बाल हों। उसी क्षण अर्नेस्ट का चेहरा बिल्कुल ऐसा लग रहा था कवि को जैसे कि ग्रेट स्टोन फेस। उसने अर्नेस्ट को अपनी बाहों में पकड़कर जोर से चिल्लाया, "अर्नेस्ट ही ग्रेट स्टोन फेस जैसे लगते हैं।" Then the people looked and saw that what the poet said was true. The prophecy was fulfilled. But Ernest, having finished what he had to say, took the poet's arm and walked slowly homeward, still hoping that some wiser and better man than himself would by and by appear, bearing a resemblance to the great stone face. तब लोगों ने भी देखा और उन्हें भी लगने लगा कि जो कवि कह रहे हैं वही सही है, भविष्यवाणी सच हो गई है। लेकिन अर्नेस्ट इन बातों से बिल्कुल भी प्रभावित नहीं हुए और घर की तरफ चल दिए कवि को लेकर, अभी भी ये सोचते हुए कि कोई बुद्धिमान और उनसे बेहतर व्यक्ति कुछ समय में आएगा जो कि ग्रेट स्टोन फेस से मिलता जुलता होगा। So this completes your story. Now we will do the question answer for the chapter. Okay, so let's move to page number 136, comprehension check 1. Write true or false against each of the following statement. Ernest would reminded people of the wise old saying. True. Total strangers from far away who visited Ernest in the valley found his face familiar. True. The great stone face confirmed Ernest's view that the poet could be worthy of its likeness. False. When Ernest and the poet met, they respected and admired each other equally. True. The poet, along with Ernest, addressed the inhabitants of the valley. False. The poet realized that Ernest's thoughts were far nobler than his own verses. True. Now we move to working with the text. Answer the following question. How was Ernest different from others in the valley? Ernest was a humble, hardworking, and thoughtful person. He was not an unknown person unlike others. As he grew old, he had become well-known personality beyond limit of valley. College professor and even active men of cities came from far to meet him. Ernest received those people with gentle sincerity and spoke with them freely, with open heart. He led a life of good deeds and with selfless love for others. He used to deliver thoughtful words from the depth of his heart. His words had power since they agreed with the reality of his life. While talking to his audience, his face would brighten and shine upon them, as mild evening light. In this way, Ernest was different from others in the valley. Question number 2. Why did Ernest think the poet was like the stone face? The poet wrote songs with lofty thoughts. The poetry of the poet found his way to the Ernest also. Ernest used to read the poet's poems and songs after his day's work and found them worthy. When the poet came to meet Ernest, he looked wise, gentle, and kind. Even the great stone face appeared bending forward to listen to his talk. For all these reasons, Ernest began to think that the poet was like the great stone face. What did the poet himself say about his thoughts and poems? The poet said that Ernest could hear the distant voice of heavenly song in his thoughts and poems. However, the poet felt that his own life had not corresponded with his thoughts. He had grand dreams, but they had been only dreams. Sometimes he even lacked faith in his own thoughts. What made the poet proclaim Ernest was the stone face. The poet observed Ernest while he was talking to his audience. Ernest was speaking kindly, but from depth of his heart and mind. The poet felt that Ernest's own life and character was a nobler strain of poetry than he had ever written. The poet found great similarities between the misty white clouds around the great stone face and the white hairs around the brow of Ernest. So the poet proclaimed that the Ernest himself was the stone face. Question number 5. Write Ernest or poet against each statement below. There was a gap between his life and his words. Poet. His word had the power of truth as they agreed with his thought. Ernest. His words were as soothing as heavenly song, but only as useful as a vague dream. Poet. His thoughts were worthy, earnest. Whatever he said was truth itself, earnest. His life was nobler than all the poems. Sorry, his poems were noble, poet. He lacked faith in his own thoughts, poet. His thought had power as they agreed with the life he lived. Earnest. Greatness lies in truth. Truth is best expressed in one's action. He was truthful, therefore he was great. Earnest. Question number 6, part 1. Who by common consent turned out to be like the great stone face? By common consent, Ernest turned out to be like the great stone face. Part 2. Did Ernest believe that the old prophecy had come true? What did he say about it? No, Ernest did not believe that the old prophecy had come true. Even though everybody had agreed that he was the likeness of the great stone face, he himself hoped that some wiser and better than himself would appear, better men than himself would appear, bearing a resemblance to the great stone face. So this completes your chapter number 10 of Honeydew. We will do the next chapter in our next video. Thank you.